Alright, so in this video I'm just going to take you through some of our heights equipment. You'll see a little bit later on when we go through the, I'll be fitting a harness and wearing a harness to make sure that, show you how that whole process goes on connecting it, doing inspections, maintenance on your harnesses, and obviously the buddy safety check. But just a little bit of other equipment that can be used. So over to my right here, this system here, now this is used for setting up an anchorage point on a roof. So you can see all these different little connectors. Obviously they screw down to the battens. This is our anchorage point, so we can hook our retractable lanyard or our lanyard up to these. And this actually has its own built-in shock absorber in the actual anchorage point. So that's a fantastic tool when you're doing roof work. It's setting up an easy, cheap anchorage point for those situations. Over here to my left, so we've got what they call a self-retractable lanyard, or an SRL. So these are for what they call limited free fall. They stop us from falling any greater than 600 millimeters. As you can see, if I fall, it's going to lock immediately into place there, and it's not going to let the person fall the full 2 meter length of a standard lanyard and things like that. Great tool, especially when you're taking your critical factors into advantage. Obviously, when we're working at a height, if I've got a 2 meter lanyard, 1.7 meter shock absorber, I'm 1.8 meters tall. So obviously in that distance where I fall, I always want to make sure that I've got a 1 meter buffer there as well. There's a potential that we could go at least 6.5 meters from our anchorage point that we need to free up there or take into account for our critical factors. So these, I guess, give us the ability that we can take out that whole 2 meter lanyard plus the 1.7 meter shock absorption. And they'll only let us fall less than 600 millimeters. This one in particular is designed so it can't fall any greater than 410 millimeters. For hook-unhook situations, when we're working along a static line or doing any activity like that, this is what they call a twin-tailed lanyard. So as you can see, this part here will hook to the back of our harness. The other points are for anchorage points. So these are great for static lines. If I need to go from one platform to another so I can stay or maintain hooked up at all times, and so that we can climb ladders and things like that, they're another good tool for that as well. And the last thing I wanted to take everybody through, we go through anchorage points, and anchorage points can consist of several different pieces of equipment. This is a good little easy anchorage point here that can be used wrapped around an I-beam and things along those lines. So the black part on top, that is our actual length, that is our sling. That is our rated piece of equipment for carrying out the height. The yellow underneath, this is actually padding, because as we would be aware, or as we need to be aware of, that all sharp edges need to be padded. So this particular lanyard actually has it all built in, so it's not going to wear away and do things like that over time. So we don't need to add extra padding in that to these type of slings if we're using a rated beam and things like that. Remembering that every time we put these up, they need to be inspected and make sure that a competent person comes, rates the beam that we're working on. These need to be tested and tagged the same as all of our height safety equipment every 6 months or as per our company's procedures. Alright, so on the next video we're going to go through a little bit about working at heights. We're going to show you how some of the equipment works. But that's all for now. Thank you.